The O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 14 years running.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and here's a legal segment tonight. 3 hot topics, beginning with a memo explaining why presidents have the authority to kill U.S. citizens. This off the drone attack that killed Anwar al-Awlaki in Yemen. He had ties to al-Qaeda, and some Americans believe the president, Mr. Obama, murdered him. Here now, attorney and Fox News analyst Kimberly Guilfoyle and Wiehl. Was it murder, Wiehl?
Absolutely not.
No?
Murder or killing, lethal combat is okay under the law when you've got an imminent threat, as we did here. You've got
Tell me what the threat was from al-Awlaki.
Well, CIA and Intel were telling the president and all his big guys, the big government officials, that al-Awlaki was involved in future crimes, going to be plotting terrorist crimes.
So he was a planner. He was a CIA planner.
Exactly.
He was an operational leader of an enemy.
So the administration had intel that said that, and then they said, okay, because he was a threat to the United States, because he was plotting to kill us, we can wipe him out with a drone. You buy it?
Yes, I do, actually. I think it was justified, and the memo that was released is specific just to Anwar al-Awlaki, who they believed was an operational leader of the enemy force.
I know it's just one guy, but believe me, this memo will give other presidents the power to kill people that they feel are going to
40-page memo going into all the legality about this one guy.
My last question on this, and we have 2 other hot topics here. Does this memo apply to television commentators who may be a danger to administrations? Because if so, I'm going to have to have a little more construction on my house here. All right.
You can leave your house.
Now, one of the worst things about America and every other country on earth are people who use children, exploit children, and rape them and all of this. This is an industry around the world. Thailand has a big industry here, Scandinavia. And in America, the FBI is now involved in tracking the worst among us down. Big raid. Tell me about it, Guilfoyle. What happened?
This is called Operation Cross Country. Huge success in this war that we are fighting in this country against people who prey against children. It involved 106 cities, 54 FBI divisions. They were able to recover 168 kids, remove them from this life.
And these were prostitutes. 4 kids forced into prostitution.
Used in an active sex trade across the country. 281 pimps also taken into custody.
And they could get life,
by the way,
guys,
yes, the pimps are getting more than the prostitutes. Obviously, they're getting 10. They're getting 10 up to life sentences.
The kids, you got to just try to save.
You have to try to save.
But the people who do this, they should get life in prison.
And the people who tried to hire children.
Because it's a federal crime now, and this is what we're happy to see. The feds are now making this a federal beef and getting the FBI.
Trafficking
these kids. The FBI want to applaud them. Keep going. Keep doing this.
And very important, the National Center for Missing and Exploiting Children, very involved, and the Innocence Lost Project. So they have been relentless in their pursuit.
All right, Detroit, Michigan, a disaster. Half the citizens who live in Detroit cannot pay their water bills. So a number of organizations are asking the United Nations, Wiehl, to pay their water bills. What are they doing?
4 organizations are asking the United Nations to get in there and put a black mark against Detroit, I guess. They're not asking them to pay the water bills. They're saying somehow the United Nations can help in this because water, to be fair,
they don't want the city to turn off the water to the people not paying their bills.
Here's the problem. A lot of the city is saying that it is a human right. The city is saying, look, something miraculous happens. We turn off the water, and then the next day they're able to pay their bills. So that's a little bit strange. But then when you do have half of the city not being able to pay their bills and saying, we're going to cut you off.
Of course, there's some people that try and milk the system, and they can't afford to, and they've just been used to the status quo.
Just don't pay the bills. There are a lot of people like that.
Until they're forced to do it. We need exact statistics on that. I understand where the UN is coming from, but the leadership has to come, and the infrastructure within the state of Michigan.
There's always stories here. But the United Nations has said, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I really am, that this is a human right. That clean water is a human right, and that's how.
But the state and local government should be doing
They're not going to do anything.
But they have huge fiscal problems. They're $18 billion in debt, $5 billion of which is based on the water bill.
The state can come to the organization and say, look, just forgive them.
Okay. That and Camden, 2 most devastated urban areas in the country. Ladies, as always.
Thanks.
And you might want to check out Wiehl's new book, A Deadly Business. Good beach read. On deck, Stossel says he's being punished because he's no longer